This absolute nightmare scenario unfolding at practice is every single football fan's worst nightmare. Kobe Bryant was just carted off the practice field, clutching his left knee in severe pain, leaving the defense completely gutted. If this knee injury wipes out his season, can this secondary even survive the grueling journey ahead? Before we dive deep into this devastating situation, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with fellow fans, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update. We are staring down what could be a massive disaster for the secondary. Reports came flying in from the field that during an intense one-on-one rep against tight end Cole Kmet, Kobe Bryant went down hard and immediately grabbed his left knee. The scene on the field was described as extremely emotional. Bryant was visibly distraught, slamming his helmet to the ground as his teammates gathered around him in complete shock. Now, if you are searching for any tiny sliver of optimism in this mess, it is that he managed to stand up and limp over to the cart under his own power. Does that mean he avoided the absolute worst-case outcome like a total tear? We can only pray. But let us be honest with each other here, training camp cart rides carry very different weight depending on the situation. Sometimes a player gets on a cart simply because practice is on the far back field and they do not want a guy with a minor cramp walking a quarter-mile back to the facility. Other times, it is a catastrophic knee blowout where a player cannot move at all. Bryant's situation seems to fall somewhere in that nerve-wracking middle ground. He was limping, but he was moving. We are all desperately hoping for something manageable like a hyperextension rather than a season-ending structural injury. But when a key veteran displays that level of raw emotion, it sends a cold shiver down your spine. Losing Bryant for any extended period would be a massive blow because of how much faith was placed in him this offseason. The front office specifically pivoted away from veteran departures like Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker to hand the keys over to Kobe Bryant and rookie sensation Dylan Thieneman. The goal was simple: bring elite speed, tactical versatility, and dynamic coverage skills to the back end of Dennis Allen's defensive scheme. Bryant was transitioning from cornerback to safety and had truly come into his own, emerging not just as a starting playmaker, but as a vocal leader in the locker room. The front office backed up that faith with a lucrative 3-year, $40 million contract. To see a multi-million-dollar core piece go down on the very first day of full contact pads is a bitter pill to swallow. This brings us directly to our question of the day, and I want to hear from every single one of you in the comments section below. If Kobe Bryant is forced to miss significant time, should the team immediately sign a high-profile free agent safety, or should they trust the young depth already on the roster? Drop your thoughts below because this argument is tearing the fanbase apart right now. The ripple effect of this injury is terrifying because the secondary was already hanging by a thread. For months, the primary concern was depth along the defensive line, but suddenly the entire defensive backfield is undergoing a medical crisis. Look at the horrific breakdown of current injuries across the secondary. Star nickel cornerback Kyler Gordon remains sidelined with no clear timetable for his return. Safety Elijah Hicks is currently trapped on the physically unable to perform list due to a stubborn shin issue. On top of that, cornerback Terrell Smith was forced to leave practice today as well. Remember, Smith missed his entire previous season with a severe patellar tendon injury, so seeing him walk off today raises alarm bells. Irony is having its moment too, because the healthiest guy back there right now is Jalen Johnson, who is coming off a season completely marred by injuries. Outside of Johnson and rookie Dylan Thieneman, the entire primary rotation is nursing bumps, bruises, or major structural concerns. Look at what happened immediately after Bryant went down in practice today. Defensive backs coach and reporters noted that Cam Lewis had to shift over to play safety alongside Thieneman. That creates a massive double whammy problem. Cam Lewis is a valuable Swiss Army knife who can fill in at nickel or safety, but with Kyler Gordon already out, Lewis was actively competing to be the starting nickel corner. If Lewis is forced to play full-time safety to cover for Bryant and Hicks, who takes over at nickel slot corner? Are we really ready to hand those vital slot snaps over to Jalen Jones or unproven options like Malik Muhammad this early in the year? That is a massive exposure point for opposing quarterbacks to attack. Even if Bryant miraculously escaped structural damage and only misses a couple of weeks, extra bodies are urgently needed in camp. The coaching staff is literally running out of healthy DBs to complete basic practice reps, so if the front office decides to pick up the phone and dial for external help, who is actually available on the open market right now? Let us walk through the realistic free agent options sitting by their phones. First on the list is veteran Xavier Woods. Woods played solid football during his recent stint, grading out remarkably well in coverage despite missing a handful of games. He brings undeniable veteran experience, instinctive range, and would represent an immediate upgrade over raw backup depth. Another intriguing target is Donovan Wilson, who has been taking visits around the league recently. Wilson was a downhill force for Dallas for years. While his 2025 performance had some ups and downs, he excels down in the box against the run. Signing Wilson would mean reverting to a traditional box safety and coverage safety pairing alongside Thiemann, which might not be the ideal scheme fit, but beggars cannot be choosers when your depth chart is decimated. Then there is Jabril Peppers. Peppers is a physical, hard-hitting defender who plays with immense passion. He is not known as an elite coverage guy, but his run defense and intermediate zone presence are legitimate. He could slot in as a reliable temporary starter while the medical team gets everyone else healthy. If the front office wants pure leadership and wisdom, Jordan Poyer is sitting out there at 35 years old. Poyer may be in the twilight of his career, but he was still one of Buffalo's most reliable secondary communicators last season. The real question is whether his body can endure a full 17-game grind, but his veteran instincts are top tier. Finally, the ultimate long-shot dream call, Harrison Smith. Smith has spent 14 glorious seasons as a division rival in Minnesota and has contemplated retirement. Could you actually convince a prospective Hall of Famer to cross rival lines for his 15th season to anchor a playoff contender? It is highly improbable, but picking up the phone to offer a starting role costs absolutely nothing. At the end of the day, today was supposed to be a celebration of putting on the pads and watching Caleb Williams command the offense. Instead, an absolute dark cloud has landed over training camp. We are sending our absolute best wishes to Kobe Bryant for a speedy recovery. Drop your prayers in the comments, stay tuned as the official medical results come in, and as always, let us keep the faith.